Coach Riley, you got to be able to block. You got one guy back there, you know what I mean? You got to protect the quarterback, you know what I mean? And again, all of that goes to ball security, being able to pre-snap read, be able to block, be able to do your 111th. That's all we want to do. Do your 111th, do your job, do it to the best of your capabilities. But you have to be able to block to be able to be on the field for the Trojans.
Do you have a crystallized vision for kind of a distribution of carries? You want one guy to be kind of the bell cow, or you want two even backs? Or?
Man, I've had a couple of different situations. I've had a guy where he was the dude, he was never coming off the field. I had another this past season. I had three guys that were pretty darn good, pretty special, that were able to go ahead and help us win some games. So we're going to figure that out. Everybody, there's multiple roles to be able to be had out there, So we're going to put the best players in the best roles, and if it's a heavy rotation, great. Everybody gets a chance to stay fresh. If there's somebody that steps up and says that this is my ball, then they'll be the guy that touched the mail. So we'll get a chance to figure that out through camp.
In what way can you tell that Travis Dye is the veteran that he is? How does that kind of manifest itself?
Just leadership, speaking up, talking to the young guys, working hard, just through his work ethic. You know what I mean? You get a chance to, as these guys continue to mature, you get a chance to see how they work and how they go about their work. You know what I mean? It's not just show up, but what do you look like when you work? And that's pretty much the biggest thing that has really showed up for Travis, is that he shows up like a professional. And I think he's got a great chance on playing after college.
There used to be a day and age where players didn't really transfer within their conference, and certainly weren't able to play immediately.
Yeah.
How much does that change the college football world? And tell me about getting a guy like him and being able to use him immediately.
I think it's huge. You know what I mean? Because again, when I got here, we had two guys on campus, one left, so we're down to one guy. To be able to get a guy that has produced in your conference, that you've gotten a chance to see year in and year out, you saw his growth, you know what I mean, is huge for sure, because we needed a guy that kind of knew the landscape, and he does, a guy that's made some plays, he has. So it's a great opportunity for us to land a player that has made some plays within the conference.
Is it like inside intel? Like you have like a little spy with him now?
Man,
like you have?
No spies, zero. No, I just, again, got a chance to go up against Oregon, obviously twice last year, and you talk about he was going up against one of the best defenses in the country, and to see him compete, strain, fight against a unit like that showed me everything that I needed to know. Got a chance to see him play against Ohio State, showed up big, and then obviously closing out his Oregon career against Oklahoma with a big game. So he had showed us everything that he needed to show us that, hey, this kid's a good player.
He just told us he was only recruited by two schools out of college, New Mexico State and Oregon, and he was ignored by USC. Is there a little bit of a chip on her shoulder that you see kind of getting here and sort of saying, like, now's my time here?
The good thing about this group is everybody has a chip. You know what I mean? Whether it's Austin, Malik, he just got here, but I think this room just kind of carries a chip because they want to show that, hey, we're going to be the group that starts to bring us back. You know what I mean? There's been good running backs here for years, but we want to get back to where it once was. You know what I mean? We're elite, and right now I don't know how many people look at that group that way, and they got to go out and improve it. And everything that we talk about is showing up, improving, and earning everything.
Where does Darwin stand, and what area are you kind of pushing him in?
Everybody is even. There's no starting running back at USC. You know what I mean? So everybody's going to come out. They're going to come compete. They're going to figure it out. So I think that's the fair thing to do. We got a chance to see everything kind of in the spring, but the spring was the spring. Well, now we're getting ready for game day. So you got to take another jump. You got to compete a little harder. You got to strain a little harder. But Darwin's very much in the mix, just like everybody else. But things just kind of have a way of filtering themselves out. So we're gonna find out where everybody lies before we kick off against Rice.
And we've heard the phrase like free agencies here in college football. Right? How do you balance or value the difference between continuity and camaraderie, and guys have been here forever versus just, I mean, Jordan Addison's, we'll take them. You know, how do you balance that?
Well, the biggest thing is those guys are like free agency. There's a need. You know what I mean? So obviously, you're saying that we may have a void or a hole that we feel like we got to bring somebody in at, whether it's through transfer, because that's the other part of it. Guys get a chance to transfer and play. You know, so if you got a young man that isn't playing as much, he might just leave. You know what I mean? So again, you want to have great continuity. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, maybe somebody could make you better, or they can fill a role, or fill a void. So I think it's a good thing. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, guys got to play together. You know what I mean? Guys got to go through the fire. You know, so for us, we're going to do that on the run. And it's a lot of it's going to be done obviously in practice, so we can go ahead and build that camaraderie and that competition so they're ready for those situations.